Good morning, class. This is introduction to boat building, the first video classroom. We're here in the shop so that we can lay out some oars for the first class. So to get the idea of what we're doing, if some of you have done some of the layout work and some of you have not, layout work applies to anything you're doing. But it's helpful to do it on the oars since we have a drawing that has measurements laid out on it. The tools that we're going to need to use, we're going to need a square. We will need a tape measure, which is in the other pocket. There it is. Pencil, alrighty. And I also use a yardstick periodically. So it's not essential, but that's what we'll use. All right. The other things that we're going to need to use is our drawings that show dimensions. All right, that's for the regular shorter oars, and then we have the drawing for the sweep, the big long oar. Alrighty. So this oar has already been started to be worked on. The first thing that we want to do is we want to know the overall length of the oar. Alrighty, and this one, the blank, is just 7 feet long, which means we're going to make a 6.5 foot oar out of it. We're making 6.5 and 7.5 foot oars. And since it's only 7 feet long, we can't make a 7.5 foot oar out of it. Alrighty? So the first thing we want to do is we want to lay out at the very end, we want to lay out 1 inch. Okay? Then what we want to do is we want to make a mark at 31. All right, now this one is off. Whoever laid this one out mismarked. So we're going to do that. We're going to go to 31. Okay, the distance on here is 30 inches, but because we started at 1 inch, all right, this is 31. Okay, the thing that you have to understand with this is you never trust the tip of a tape measure. All right, the tip of a tape measure can move back and forth, and the idea is that if you push it against something, it can move to shorten a little bit. If you hook it over something, it pulls back a little bit to lengthen it, so you're always working from zero. Except that invariably this is not a super accurate. All right, so if you want to do nice accurate work, don't trust the end of a tape measure. All right, so we go to 1 inch. We go to 31, we just add an inch to all our dimensions, okay? The next thing we want to know is we want to say it's going to be a 6'6" oar, and again, add an inch. Now again, this is off a little bit, so I'm going to erase that line, all right? I'm going to mark 6'7", all right? Now, then we look at our drawing. Okay, and on the drawing, it has the length of the handle, the length of the loom that goes to where the leather is, and then the length of the leather. Alrighty, the distance from where the neck of the oar is, the narrow part, to the leather, that varies with the length of the oar. Alrighty, so the way that you can do this, all right, if you want to just use another ruler, you can just lay this out with the yardstick, or you can use the tape measure, but again, start from the 1 inch mark. Alrighty? Don't try to use the end of the tape measure. Alright? It's 5¼ inches, so we go to 6¼ Alright? Then it's 12¾ That we got to add the 12¾ to that. It's better to add the dimension than to try and keep moving the tape measure. All right, you can do this. All right, so we want 12¾ so we go to 13¾ all right, again, the line that's on here isn't quite accurate, so we'll erase that. All right, one other reason to use pencil instead of pen, right? All right, the problem you have is if you keep moving the tape measure, you can get what's called accumulating error. All right, it can either keep getting bigger or keep getting smaller each time you move it. It is better, it's more accurate. In this case, it's not a big deal, but it can be a good habit to get into. Alrighty? So the idea here is that we do 5 1/4, all right? And then as you add 12 3/4 to that, well, for one thing, we know the 3/4 is going to go to an inch mark, all right? Then we can count 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and there we are, all right? Then we can go another 12 inches, okay, for the leather. 1, 2, 3, or you want to do the math? 19 plus 12, already? I don't. That's going to be 31. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 31 inches. All right? There you go. Okay? So those are the marks we need. Alrighty? So then what we're going to do is take those marks, we're going to take a square, we're going to draw across. All right? Now we have a small problem here. All right? Somebody has cut a taper in this already. Okay? And what they were supposed to do is keep this straight from between, was that right? No, I'm sorry, I take that back. They did the right thing. They were supposed to start the taper at where the leather starts and it tapers down there. So they did the right thing. I take that back. Alrighty? So we can't really draw a square line because this is crooked. Okay? Somebody's got ahead of us a little bit. Alright? And the same thing down here. I can't really go square across. What I can do is I can come off the loom, the parts where the loom has been glued on, and the blades have been glued on the loom. And we can draw, oops, and that will work just fine. I can go vertically, like that. All right, on the other side as well. All right. So here, I'm just going to eyeball this. This will get us close enough anyway. All right. Vertical. Whoops. Vertical. All right. Now again, we've got the wrong measurements here, so we're going to erase those. And somebody's even gone to the trouble of drawing the handle on here. So we're going to have to erase all that. All right. So we'll draw measurements there, there, there. Now, if you start seeing extra lines on here, and you know one of them is wrong, and you're going to erase them, put a little V to the right marks, okay? And then you can erase the other ones. But that way you don't get confused about which marks you're going to. All right? We'll do the same thing here, get there, do the back. All right? Well, I haven't had to turn the oar at all to use the square to do this. All right? And you'll see that I'm not holding the oar this way because I can't predict it's going to be square this way. But I know it's square this way. I can also, and I'll bring the mark out to I'll bring the line out to the edge here where I can see it really well. It's not buried underneath here. All right? Okay. We can also use some of the shop squares, which are fixed square, but do the same thing. Put the head of the square against the piece and draw a straight square line. Alrighty? Now all we have to do is roll it over, okay? And we can draw the marks across the top as well. And they should link up all the way. And I'm a little bit off. I'm going to do that again. I got that one. If you did a good job, the lines should connect. Okay? Now again, some of these are off. I'm going to put a little V to the one I want and erase the ones I don't want. Another way to do this is to take a scraper or some sandpaper and take the marks off. I think I have another pencil in my pocket, which has a good eraser on it. That one, that one, all right. And again, draw the line across there, and it links up just perfectly. Okay. We've got the neck here. All right. Again, this is a little bit off. We'll erase that one. All right. And here I don't have anything square to work off of really. I'm just going to join the two lines across there. The other thing that I need to do is I need to just draw the square line across the tip. Alright. And what I'm going off of is the straight piece of the loom here.